Welcome to another disgusting, gut-wrenching and vomit-inducing Let's Play on this channel. Today we're not just playing through a horror game, no. Today we're slicing, lifting, draining, cutting, carving, drilling, sawing and chopping through the deceased. Not the living dead, but the dead. I hope. Welcome to Autopsy Simulator, where we're a middle-aged pathologist whose life has taken a turn for the worse. Surprise, we're never playing anyone who's having the time of their life, I guess, because, let's face it, where's the fun in that? After a career downfall and the loss of our beloved wife, we live each day shattered and exhausted. That sounds like my life, to be honest. Okay, it's not that bad, I'll admit. There's some resemblance to the Mortuary Assistant, through which we played in, I think, 22. I didn't want to spoil myself too much, but while watching the video on Steam, I think I saw a ghost at some point. Anyhow, it's time for you to lie down on that table, be very still, and then it'll just hurt for a moment. A pretty long moment. So, let's just jump right in.
Office of the Medical Examiner, Beatsville. Dr. Jack Hanman is speaking. How can I help you?
Good evening, this is Kate Brooks. I'm not sure if you remember me. A few weeks ago, we talked about an article I'm working on. It's about your wife. I dropped by last Friday to speak to you, but you weren't working at the time. I asked the security guard to pass on a note for me. I would like us to discuss the topic of...
I thought I had made it painfully obvious for the last time. No! Please don't call me again and stop inquiring about my wife. Damn journalists. They don't let me work. God damn it. I'm not in the best frame of mind to record a lecture for my students now. I'm feeling completely broken. Where did I leave my meds this time?
And we're in. Yeah, where did I leave my meds?
Not very comfortable, but suitable for night shifts.
Oh, I love that it is, this is narrated. Oh, we're already in the graveyard, or in the mortuary. Great.
Stephen didn't clean up after himself.
Hi, this is Kate Brooks, the reporter for the New Orleans Weekly. I couldn't find you at home. I'm starting to suspect you are avoiding me, Mr. Hanman. Anyway, you know, we like to write an article commemorating your wife's achievement. We would be delighted to talk to you about it. Along with this note, I'm also leaving my business card. I hope to find you at home or at the office. Regards, K. Brooks. Okay, we have already read this. How do I leave it? There we go. So I think he lost his wife. That's why he's broken.
They definitely pay me too little for this.
Broken and shattered every day.
You won't be needed for the next few months.
When being broken every day is not enough, you're shattered on top of it.
You won't be needed for the next few months.
Good times.
Wednesday. It's not my favorite day, although it's certainly better than Monday.
Oh, coffee.
Awful. It would be good to finally repair the coffee machine. Wednesday. It's not my favorite day.
Oh, this is his
it's
wife.
Certainly better than Monday.
This is his wife. Can we open this? So we have another one of those games where we rotate objects. And in most of those games, you can't even do anything with them. It's like a sort of an alibi achievement, alibi, mechanic. But then one time you need to do this to actually continue the game, and you don't know when. Oh, wait, the light. Is there anything we see just in the dark? No. I can't find the light anymore. There we go. Make the game a little louder. You have been warned. Put on your headphones and
Another kidnapping this month.
Cranky to the max. You know you're doing it wrong if the jump scares don't blast
Not
your...
very comfortable, but suitable for night shifts.
Don't blast your ears out. Oh, we can open the drawers. Just 1, 2 drawers. Makeup stuff. And I don't know, some children books. Why can you open just some drawers? That's irritating. We can open the last and the first. How to break out of this vicious cycle. Alright, let's look for the medicines in the bathroom. Ah, a good old mortuary. Ah, the stench of human decay in the morning. Ah. Nothing beats that. Doesn't this place have any lights? Oh, they're on already. Great. It's another dark game. Brush. Okay. The meds. Does it have to be this dark? I'm gonna make it a little bit brighter. Maybe. I don't see any brightness. We have the light complexity. Gamma, there we go. There we go. Okay, this looks better. Let's take our medicines.
Okay, time to pull myself together.
What happened with
back to work?
What happened with the mirror?
I need to set the camera first.
Take the camera from the storage room.
The
Laboratory.
word is, the lab will be open tomorrow.
The lab is out of order. The social room is out of order. It stopped working. You can't go in anymore.
This place is starting to look like a hoarder's dream, rather than a storage room.
Alright, here's the cam.
Now remember, Jack, don't forget, hit the record button this time.
This guy has some issues the way he's talking. Protected light.
I don't see any need to mess with the electrics. They are flaky enough as it is.
Great. That is just a peachy. That's what we need. The lights to go out in the worst moment. Place it on the tripod in the dissecting. Oh, okay, here we're starting. By the way, I enabled some... There's not...
Hopefully the new tripod is going to hold up.
There's no full nudity here. I don't like censorship, but YouTube doesn't like not censorship, so I guess we'll survive without seeing the genitals. Oh, this is what we do. Apron, gloves, goggles, mask, disinfection. Right side, autopsy. Oh, I can't wait to cut this guy open.
Now, I just have to get everything in frame.
Frame the cadaver. Okay, the cadaver.
November 20th, 1991.
Framed.
Time, 8:43 p.m. Recording for medical students from the University of Missouri. This autopsy is conducted by Jack Hanman. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the autopsy room. Today, you will have the dubious pleasure of following a full autopsy, step by step. For those of you who have already performed your first autopsy, this will refresh your basic knowledge. In turn, for those whose knowledge is only theoretical, I advise not to watch this after a meal.
Okay, here we go. I'm sort of glad that there's a little bit of a censorship. Yeah. I don't know if I want to see that in the morning. One could say this guy is maybe not the sexiest of guys. Take a look at the chalkboard. Okay, that's what we
Let's
did.
start. Always wear an apron, mask, and gloves. Goggles are a must when the job is splashy. And in case of sharp accidents, it's worth having disinfectants at hand. It's true that you won't get ptomaine poisoning straight away, but if your liver or kidney aren't doing well, you may end up with diarrhea. The cadaver is placed on its back on the autopsy table. The pathologist stands on the right of the deceased. Make sure that all the necessary tools are always at hand so that you don't have to run around looking for something, like I do all the time. In the process of revealing and securing forensic evidence, it is difficult not to interfere with the original condition of the deceased. Written and photographic documentation plays a vital role throughout the entire examination process. During your research, be patient, inquisitive, but above all, attentive to detail. Many entries are visible at first glance, but sometimes they can be cover for more interesting stories. And lastly, remember that nothing teaches you self-narration like working with the dead. So get used to that fact soon. Everyone will think you're talking to yourself.
I'm talking to myself
the police
too.
folder. That will contain all sorts of pertinent information as to who the deceased might be and what potentially happened to them. So, let's take a closer look, shall we?
The police folder? Where is the police folder? Oh, here we go. I'm an idiot. There's the file. Okay.
The deceased's name is Tobias Chambers, locally known as Old Toby. Homeless and unemployed for at least a couple of years.
A food coupon.
The deceased was found on the outskirts of a parking lot at a gas station, where he often begged and persistently offered drivers to wash their car windows.
Yeah. He was not living his best life.
The body was noticed by a station employee during the morning shift. Initially, he thought that someone had thrown some boots and a coat in a nearby ditch. It took him a moment to recognize the pile of clothes as the body of a man. Signs of libation were found around the body. Empty bottles, traces of an inept attempt to start a fire, and a scattered makeshift blanket. He worked most of his life at the local port dealing with unloaded cargo. He was fired for being drunk and starting fights. His son runs a hardware store on his own. His wife left him years ago. They both had no contact with the deceased. That's it.
Okay, we have learned nothing.
It's worth remembering the context around the scene of a death. This allows you to better interpret any traces found on the body. I shouldn't start the procedure without gloves.
Okay, we learned the context. I stand
Now it's our
corrected.
turn to take some pictures for our files. If I can just remember where I left the camera.
Do you have to put everything on?
It's in here somewhere. Aha! There you are. I knew it was here somewhere.
Oh, I just have to put on the gloves now? What's with all the stuff here? I guess it's when we start the work. I have to take a picture before, maybe.
As I mentioned at the beginning,
Excuse you.
before we begin the internal examination, we need to document the cadaver and the condition it arrived in. We begin with a full body photo. Try and stick to the top-down rule, but this is not always possible. Let's keep in mind it's all about the legibility, not the perfect frame.
Okay, we got a wound here. Let's take a full picture first.
Voila! Now we move on to the next step, looking for traces. Take your time. Look at the corpse from different sides, from different angles, up close, and from a distance. You're looking for anything out of the ordinary.
And not from the back. Okay, so we got the bruises here. That doesn't count. Oh, we gotta find 4 things. Alright, I think this has to be something.
Poorly healed wound. Looks old. I'll take a closer look later.
4 photos. Yeah, he was living a rough life as a homeless person. The weather gets to you. Those are some... This is a picture for the feet aficionados here. I'm gonna leave it in the picture for a bit for those that love this stuff here. They love feet, so here, enjoy. Ooh. Okay. You had your time.
Some wounds in the feet and signs of frostbite, probably because the subject's shoes were too small. Hardened hands, worn out by physical work, and frostbite?
You got a wound on the head, too.
That's something interesting. It will be necessary to check whether this injury was severe enough to cause damage to the brain. In a moment, we will check which of our initial observations will be worthy of further consideration. But before we get to that, I need to write down some basic data.
Where do I write it down? I really like the tutorial that this game has, but I would prefer it if they could like indicate.
Poor soul.
Or I do
I get
stuff.
cases like this more
Here.
than any other.
Do I write it in the file? No, this is the police file. This is not my file. Maybe I have it in the inventory. I don't know how to access the inventory. Oh, we write it down here, where the camera can't see. Head, feet, stomach, old wound, general picture, hands. Perform the autopsy. Don't I have to wear more gear?
It's been a while since the eye wash in this thing was changed. It's probably a health hazard now.
Is he wearing like t-shirt and jeans and then it's splashing all over him?
Personal information. The deceased was unclothed. Date. Okay. As you can see, I note everything down on previously prepared forms. Every pathologist must keep a detailed record of every step of the autopsy. This not only allows you to track the procedure, but also collates the results together, upon which you may back up your conclusions. So, enough of the boring prep. Let's begin by taking a closer look at the spots I photographed earlier. For this, you're going to need a magnifying glass.
Do I need to get one? I don't, or do I have it? Magnifying glass. Here? No, this is like... This is me, always lost in my own place. Never know where I put my things. We got the lamp. We got some drawers that I opened before.
Poor soul. I get cases like this more than any
That
other.
looks like a magnifying glass.
My old but trusted centrifuge. Ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during an autopsy.
This is going to be a lot easier after we've we've done with tools. There we go. Oh, there we go.
Which spot first?
After we've done the first corpse. All right, let's examine this. Let's have a look at this. No, just kidding.
It looks like a burn mark. No doubt painful, but it's not pertinent for this case.
All right. We got to check out the frostbites.
Definitely a painful mix of frostbite, abrasions, and blisters.
Ooh.
Old Toby had been wearing shoes too small for him for a very long time. That's if he wore any at all.
And you're welcome.
Here we can see frostbite on the fingertips. We can tell by the characteristic skin color.
This is probably the most interesting
I can
part.
confirm the presence of ecchymosis on the deceased man's head. The appearance indicates the intravital nature of the wound. Add alcohol, which I can clearly smell, and this was an accident just waiting to happen.
So he was
So far,
drunk.
there are a lot of superficial wounds, but only one serious injury to the head. Let's go back to our notes.
Maybe I can only equip it when here?
First,
Oh!
I'll mark the location of the injuries and make notes for each one. So
We got the...
even though this type of wound didn't contribute to the deceased's death, we're still required to record it. We're not in frost season yet, but high humidity, wind, and the inability to warm up can also be causes of frostbite. If Toby's body was cold for a prolonged period, the frostbite could have resulted from the body's defense reaction. The safety of the internal organs is more important than fingers, nose, or ears. The head wound. Definitely an important clue. This is something we'll investigate first. As you can see, we don't have much to go on. Let's write down what preliminary causes of death we can think of. Various types of accidents are a common cause of death among the homeless and the elderly. Perhaps old Toby slipped and accidentally hit his head. Considering the conditions in which he slept, his body may have become hypothermic. The nights have been particularly nasty lately. We will check if there are any signs of freezing internally. This is of no interest to us. Since the deceased clearly smelled of alcohol, I'll add alcohol poisoning to our list. We still have one thing left from the basics: rigor mortis.
Rigor mortis. Perform the rigor mortis examination.
Well, we take our deceased by the hand, gradually re-raise it,
I raised it too much. Oh, I raised it too fast. This is
now
too...
let it go. As you can see, the hand falls loose.
Too real.
What's the conclusion? Death must have occurred more than 72 hours ago. The police information appears correct.
Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to die myself and have some rigor
Head trauma
mortis
seems the
going
most
on.
promising, so we'll start there. For this, I need an oscillating saw.
Oh, here, and then we selected the saw.
The cut is made from ear to ear. After which, we remove the skin and the top of the skull.
Then you vomit into his brain.
After the basic examination, we can see that the brain's cerebral gyri in both hemispheres are symmetric. The brain looks good. Let's take a cross-section. Some pathologists prefer to examine organs without removing them. However, for me, it's much more convenient to examine them on a board, which we'll do now. Holding a long, narrow blade knife in the dominant hand, we slowly cut the cranial nerves on both sides, all the time pulling the brain towards us.
I don't know what I have to do. I move up without touching the edges. Yeah.
So far, so good. The hematoma seems to have had no effect on the brain. We can rule the fatal accident out as well.
Yeah, this game is more disgusting than I thought it would be. I thought just dead corpses, right? And then we open them a little bit. No, we're taking the brain out and cutting it in two pieces. Great. Exclude fall as potential cause.
Brain is in good condition, so we have no choice. About to proceed to the internal examination of the other organs.
Not that not that
I grab a scalpel from my kit.
we're bothering him. Okay, scalpel
The
here.
incision should be in the shape of a letter Y. We use a deep cut to reach all the way to the ribs and to penetrate the abdominal wall. Alright, now we peel back and separate the skin.
Open sesame.
Now,
Oh
we
my
need to remove the
God.
ribs. We'll need the loppers for this.
You're disgusting. Your job is disgusting. Okay, the loppers.
Quite a satisfying crunch, for some anyway. After removing the cartilage tissue, we instantly notice two things.
The lungs
Firstly, there is no congestion of the internal organs.
Lungs are
This
black.
means that although the deceased was hypothermic, it didn't kill him. Secondly, the deceased smoked like a chimney. So, we should take a closer look at those lungs.
How? Do I cut them out? Begin a thorough analysis by examining the organ. I did that.
We can see widespread black and tarry deposits caught. Despite the tragic condition of the lungs, they are not the cause of death. Alice smoked too. It didn't kill her, but... what was I talking about? Lungs. Yes. Advanced inflammation.
You know what? Getting jump scared by ghosts is gonna be a lot better than this. Telling you that. This is just disgusting. So he didn't die to mark the damage to the lung on the clipboard. Lungs with extensive black-gray deposits, visible inflammatory changes, and excessive distension of lung tissue caused by cigarette smoking. Lungs with advanced inflammation not related to the death of the deceased.
What now? The syringe. Now's a good time to collect some samples. Specifically 3. From the eye, the heart, and the bladder.
Putting a
I'm
syringe
interested
in.
to see the concentration of alcohol in the body.
Syringe in his eye.
Vitreous humor analysis is very useful in indicating long-term alcohol abuse.
Isn't blood coagulated? How long does it take to coagulate if in a body if this guy is longer than 72 hours dead?
5 milliliters from the left ventricle should do it.
I hope the guys, the morticians, I hope they get paid enough.
Left on the bladder, we draw about 10 milliliters of fluid. Now we take our samples to the centrifuge. But before I do that, I need to find my notebook. My dyscalculia means that I always double-check the settings. Please excuse me while I run and fetch it.
You know, the disgustingness of this job is one thing, but look at how his brain is missing. I think it's pretty depressing always dealing with dead people, opening them up, looking inside, taking stuff out and cutting it up. I mean, at some point you got to see everyone like this. Like, yeah, just a piece of meat. Another piece of meat. I prefer humans, you know, when they're intact and alive. Retrieve the notebook from the office. The office is... This is not the office. Okay, so we're going here. This is the moment for a jump scare. We close the doors here. I'm gonna close all the doors. The notebook here.
This whole thing is covered in stains. I should check this out under the microscope sometime.
Check it out now.
Let's get back to the examination. Poor soul. I get cases like this more than any other.
No, we can't check it out now. So the centrifuge is here.
We put all of the samples into the rotor. Now, we set the appropriate time and speed.
I don't know. How do I know which time and speed I have to set? Set the correct values on both dials and start. Perform the toxicological test. I mean, he picked up the notes, but oh, notes N. Time 15 minutes, speed 70%. 15 minutes. There we go. And speed 70.
Okay, let's roll.
It's rock and roll, baby. It's rock and vomit. I hope the real Slim Shady doesn't stand
Shit.
up.
The fuses again.
Don't stand up, okay? Did it work, or do I have to fix the fuses?
My old but trusted centrifuge. My old but trusted centrifuge. Ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during where were we?
God damn it.
Oh yes. The blood alcohol concentration.
There was someone standing here. In the window. God damn it. I hate this. This is one of the games. It looks like it's going to be a good horror game that does these subtle, weird things happening that you miss if you don't pay attention. But if you pay attention, then yep. It'll be actually scary. Okay, do I do it again?
Let's see what we've got here. Everything's separated as it should. Our lab is closed until tomorrow after the last, incident. However, considering that Toby's favorite eau de parfum appears to be ethanol, I'm guessing the results won't surprise me at all.
They got lots of alcohol.
Let's go further. We will now focus on the cardiovascular system, specifically the heart. We remove the organ and examine it closely. We look for dark hypoxic areas, clots, or other elements that stand out as abnormal. At first glance, the heart looks fine.
What is this?
The pulmonary trunk and aorta seem to be in good condition. There are no pathological changes that would have contributed to Toby's death.
I kind of want to vomit now.
Now let's take a closer look at the stomach. Size is normal, healthy, pink color, and as expected,
It looks like
the
a
stomach
duck.
has no major external damage. We must now cut it open and inspect inside.
I'm horrible. Further
We will
inspection.
do it carefully so that its contents do not spill out.
Dissect the stomach at the cutting board. Dissect.
We open the stomach along the greater curvature, from the heart to the pyloric end. Oh, I already feel like there's something left inside.
He ate something poisonous? I don't want to know these things. I don't want to know what's inside of us. That's disgusting. We're gonna find everything out.
Okay, large amount of gas, small amounts of yellow, grayish food content, resembling some kind of meat. Either our deceased hadn't eaten in days, or the bulk of his stomach had already found a way out. Looks like I'll have to find the missing contents.
Oh no! Oh no, the intestines.
There are two ways here. One is obvious, and the other is... It couldn't have been suffocation, could it? I'll add this to the list and move on to the deceased's neck.
What I have to do? Freeze Freeze, alcohol, asphyxiation. Oh, he already added it.
At first glance, the trachea looks normal.
Why does it have two things? I don't know.
Same result as with the stomach. The external inspection doesn't tell us anything. This time we'll cut on a tray.
Does he have two stomachs? We'll cut on the tray.
While cutting such a small organ as the trachea, we must make a precise incision. To be able to cut with the very tip of the blade, we must hold the scalpel as we would a pen.
I hope nobody of you is eating.
And after careful examination and deduction, we've got it. A clogged trachea. It's time to summarize the whole thing.
So he choked from something that he ate?
Based on the report and preliminary documentation, it's safe to assume that the deceased passed out after consumption of alcohol and then fell asleep on his back.
He vomited. And he died.
Then, the gastric contents refluxed and flooded the airways, causing death.
Great.
That's why we don't forget about the recovery position at dorm parties.
Okay, can I leave? I want to leave. I want to leave here. What do I have to do? Clicking? Signing? Asphyxiation. Decide appropriate manner of death. I did. Asphyxiation. He already did it. Manner of death, accident.
And now it's all clear. The death was suffocation. Now, signature.
Doctor, write your signature at the bottom. I'm not going to write my signature here.
The mystery is solved. But for us, this is not the end. First, the dead body needs to be cleaned up. For this, we will need to close the body and grab the needle. First, we unroll the skin flaps.
We're still not done. We'll put marshmallows inside.
We sew the deceased back up.
Fill him with marshmallows.
I'm using the baseball stitch technique. This stitching method is very strong and quick to do.
It doesn't need to be pretty. Oh, he's the fastest stitcher in the world.
Beautiful. Now we say goodbye to the deceased and put them safely in the fridge, ready for the next stage of their journey.
Okay. Thank God this is over. I'm starting to feel a little bit sick, to be honest. Excuse me. Place the body in the fridge. Oh, I just click it. Alright. Good night.
God, I'm tired. I'll drop these samples off at the lab on the way to the bar.
Head to your car.
I'll
Oh, we're
Steven.
leaving.
I don't feel like drinking alone today. But the word is, the lab will be open tomorrow.
Oh no, is this a dream? What's making this noise here? Oh, that was right. That was the prologue. It hasn't even started.
Forgive me. What? Christ. What a dream. Fuck.
That's his wife.
Alice didn't like this portrait.
I don't think I would have portraits of my wife everywhere if she dies. You can never get over it like this.
Time flies, and probably doesn't have to get up to work.
Tempus fugit.
I really need to get this laundry done. I wasn't able to support her through this.
It's the pregnancy thingy. What does it say? 1986. Oh, that was a long time ago.
Till death do us part. It was a miracle that the coffee didn't wash off the writing. And that she said yes.
Will you marry me?
She got it for her first day of work, and she broke it the same day. She said it was for luck.
Handcuffs? The hell is that? Oh no, bracelets. Okay. Yeah.
It's always good to have something for a rainy day.
Who is this? Benjamin Franklin or something? I have no clue. I'm not American. And then how do I look at the note down here without picking up everything else? Oh, we have to wait until the circle disappears. Why can't I click on this circle here? Here the money disappears.
It's always good to have something for a rainy day. It's always good to have something for a rainy day.
So we can't pick up this circle and this circle. We can't interact with them. They never disappear. Okay. 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 Another picture of his wife. You'll never get over her like this.
It's been almost a year.
Oh, she died just a year ago. The mirror is out of order too. Okay, let's get some
So much light everywhere.
some pills. Paris. He's got like every room got pictures.
Some days,
pictures
I
of
just
her.
feel like setting fire to all this paperwork. I'm fed up with it.
Yeah, life can be horrible. Beautiful and horrible at the same time. Can't interact. Oh, this is in another room? Wait, maybe those two circles are behind this thing? Ah! I found the circles. Who is that? Her sister? Summer 1975.
These were from Thanksgiving. Stephen invited me. I was going to give them to his mother.
1976.
Then I met Alice. That was the first time I saw her.
I would love to be able to time travel back to all these times, to the 70s, the 60s, the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, the 10s. And, you know, just like maybe as a you know, somebody that can't interact with anyone, but you just check out how everything has been back then. Oh, they have a kid? No, this is like, looks like an old picture. Maybe that's him or her as a little child.
I'm not in the mood for music lately. They certainly have more will to live than I do.
Yeah, when you're already feeling sad and depressed, then this is the perfect game for you. I'm loving it already. I like this picture. It's not necessarily sad, it's just looking out into the ocean. I like the ocean. She was a smoker too. Rolla. Greetings from Rolla. Greetings from... Oh, it actually says that even. It says it here and says it... She wrote it too, or whoever wrote it. Adelaide Avery. Another girl. Greetings from... It doesn't... we have to read it like this. Stephen and Alice are doing well. We bake cakes, go to the forest, and once a week... some chair. Uncle takes fishing. Takes them fishing. A change of environment is good for them. You should join us. The kids really want to hug your mom. Their mom. Kisses Marjorie. P.S. Do you remember Eleanor? She comes to us every Sunday for the tea. She asked me to convey her sincere condolences. The feeder that Samuel made many years ago is still in her garden.
The view isn't spectacular, but why does that car look familiar?
The mortuary car? I don't know. That car there? Is that a mortuary car? Or this car?
The view isn't spectacular, but why does that car look familiar?
She was a beautiful woman. On the downside, you're getting old. On the plus side, unlike me, you won't start going bald. Happy birthday, my dear sis, Stephen. On the downside, she's dead now. Pizza.
The remnants of last night's binge with Stephen. I'm not sure if it's still edible.
Oh, he's still meeting her brother. Binge eating with him.
Menu for today. Dinner in town and takeaway coffee.
Beer, 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 and beer. Peanut butter. You know what that is? Maybe jelly. I don't think you need to store these cans in the fridge, by the way. We got some pizza that is in the fridge and not in the freezer for some reason. There is freezer pizza, but it doesn't stay fresh that long. And here we got some leftovers, I guess. Here we go, the toilet.
A pill a day keeps the defective jack away.
Can I interact with this? I can't. There's no crouch or crawl in the game. Time for the pills.
It's a shame these won't help with my hangover. It's just too dirty to use.
Oh.
The fucking phone.
Think it's for you.
Okay. I know I'm late. I'll be there soon. It's not like the dead are impatient.
Jack, no.
Alice? Who is this?
It's
Charlotte Graves?
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you. I thought it was work calling.
It's okay. I hate it when work calls me at home, too. How is everything? We haven't talked since... you know.
Well, there are good days, and there are bad days. What can I say? At least I can hide away at work.
Well, you always were the most comfortable in the dissecting room. Listen, I have an unusual request.
Okay, how can I help?
It's nothing serious. I just wanted to ask. Do you have any pictures of Alice? Maybe one where the two of us are together? I'd love to have something to remind me of her.
I guess. I'm not sure. I'll look through her things.
Thank you. I'm sorry to trouble you with this. All this can't be easy for you.
I'll get through it somehow. I've been meaning to sort through her stuff for a while. Have you asked Stephen if he has anything?
Yes, I spoke with him this morning. He said he gave everything to their mother and that I should ask you.
I see.
Jack, I know you're trying. That you cope somehow. Stephen's there for you. Although, well, we all know how he can be. But, I mean, if you wanted to reminisce about Alice, talk.
I really should go now. I overslept, I'm late for work, and I still have some errands to run on the way.
Oh. Okay, sure. Sorry to keep you.
I'll look for something and send it over. Thanks for the call, and bye.
Oh, do you have my address?
Not on hand. You'd best remind me again.
292 Browning Lane, apartment 432, Johnson City, New York, 13790.
Got it. Thanks.
Thank you. It would mean a lot to me. I just miss her so much.
Yeah, me too. And that's okay. Really, no problem.
Thank you. Take care, Jack.
You too, Charlotte. It was nice to hear you. Well, that was a bit unexpected. I should probably find something to send.
Oh! I just saw her here. Was it her? Just walked over here. So we saw a picture of both of the girls. Where was it again? I think it was in this room somewhere. Maybe not. Got the Eiffel Tower. Picture of the two girls. I remember it.
I really need to get this laundry done.
Down here, maybe?
Alice and Charlotte in Amsterdam.
There you go.
It's hard to believe they've known each other for so long.
And an envelope to send it to Charlotte. We need an envelope. Where does he have? Maybe in his...
It would be better if Charlotte had this. It deserves to be on display and not hidden in a drawer.
There we go.
Okay, time to go to work. I'm seriously late.
Post a letter in the mailbox. Do I go to work like this, or do I have to put on something else?
I really need to get this laundry done.
Guess we're just leaving.
I should grab some coffee and aspirin on the way.
A lighter. But he doesn't...
These fluorescent tubes are brutal.
Who smokes there? Post a letter in the mailbox. Okay, we're leaving. I love the uncomfortable background sound that makes me that thing. It makes me feel really great. Who has a desk down here with documents? A little sneezer. We got the sneezers out of the way. Can we move this back in? I can't open the... Oh. Okay, we got a flap. I don't know how that's called. Ein Flachmann in German. And open the middle drawer. Oh, there's a letter here that I can't look at. Okay. What the hell is this? Somebody's sleeping under the stairs, drinking lots of alcohol? It's not normal. Okay, let's see. Oh wow, we're living basically in trash alley. So where's the mailbox? Look at all this garbage. Does nobody ever pick this up? Imagine the stench. Oh, there's the mailbox.
I hope this helps, Charlotte. Okay. All done here. Time to go.
It didn't write anything.
Huh?
Can't see anything. Let's... This is our car? Okay, let's leave.
Damn, I forgot my jacket. Well. I'll brave it for tonight. Too bad. Nice and fresh. At least it's peaceful here.
Home sweet home. We probably already got
Good evening, Mr. Ridley.
the next corpse going on.
The timesheet handman.
Can't go in there.
Some corpses have more personality than this guy. Christ. Who leaves the window open in the middle of November? So I'd better check the answering machine.
Didn't I close it last time?
Hi, Jack. I dropped by a little early today. I left the body with Ridley in the corridor. He wasn't sitting in the locker then, so maybe he'll even throw him into the room. Well, how are you doing? I mean, it's your first birthday without her, and... This, I still have a hangover, and you know me, I run to the John like the neighbor's fucking
Is that
dog.
a hard disk?
You know, today I slipped on his shit again. That fucking furball. He always has to shit next to my car. Anyway, I can't come over in the evening, but we'll catch up on the weekend, okay? Bye. I almost forgot. Charlotte called me this morning. She asked about you, so answer your calls, Jack. This time it's not a reprimand for being late.
That's par for the course. I wonder when this clown will learn to look under his feet.
Inspect my muffin.
Birthday. I actually forgot it was today. Alice baked me muffins like these every birthday. A treat for later. I always crave something sweet after a section. Okay, joke's over. Apron, gloves, and get to work.
Here we go. Let's get ready for the disgusting part. Apron.
Ah, man. I remember you. You were on that talent show. What was your name again?
No, no. Poor girl.
I need to order another batch of these. I've got to remember to do that later. And that's the whole point.
You have to record every autopsy, huh?
Steven laughs at me for recording everything. He says I have a bigger collection of stuff like this than most of the creeps he's caught. November 21st, 1991. Time, 9:13 p.m. The autopsy is conducted by Jack Hanman. Lecture for the Medical University of Missouri. After yesterday's lecture, you should already know the ins and outs, so today we'll be consolidating our knowledge. So, where do I start? That's right, the lease folder. Ah, yes, Samantha Barker. Now remember, there's probably going to be a lot of chatter about this. When questioned, friends admitted that Samantha's last days before losing contact seemed extremely happy and relaxed. She also quit drinking alcohol, had mentioned something about rehab. The friend also admits that there was no indication of an impending tragedy. Found in her own apartment by police patrol. Officers were called by a concerned friend of the deceased, who had been unable to contact Barker for several days. During the interrogation, a friend of the deceased admitted that Samantha never got to grips with the sudden fame that came after winning such a high-profile talent show. After her first album became a commercial success, she was hit with a creative drought. She suffered panic attacks and severe sleep problems. Drugs and medication came into play. The deceased was found in her own apartment, in a semi-recumbent position on an armchair. Large quantities of alcohol and empty packets of sleeping pills were also found in the apartment. Well, let's see what settled this matter. As you can see, the body is fully clothed. Therefore, before we move on to photographic documentation, we must remove the clothes. This time, we don't have to focus on the clothes too much. However, there are cases where a clothing analysis can lead to the cause of death. Okay, now we can continue with the examination. Again, begin by taking photographs of the cadaver.
Is she strangled here?
That over time, it will cease being embarrassing for you.
Photo camera from the desk drawer. Yeah, got it.
First, we photograph the whole body. And now, any suspicious-looking marks or wounds.
Oh god, I'm starting to feel sick again.
You don't get such bruises from a normal contusion.
On her arm? No, this is normal here.
Yes, I've seen this many times.
Is it like drug user with syringe marks? Legs, the feet.
Well, there's even more here.
She started injecting in her feet so people don't see it. Or maybe it's a disease, I have no clue.
Interesting. Very uneven. We need to investigate this.
Are you already vomiting? No? Okay, good. Good for you. What else? Oh, this here.
A few we will need to look into here.
Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to cut her open. Neck hanging, hanging mark. Yeah, that's what I thought. Or strangling mark. I think it looks different. Hanging and strangling looks different. Left arm, right hand, feet, general stomach bruises. Alright, and now it's time for the good
Notes
part.
prepared. Time to take a closer look.
Inspect the areas of concern with the magnifying glass.
Some furrows have imprinted more strongly, others less, as if someone was, undecided. The number of bruises suggests that there may have been some kind of tussle.
That is a fight or something, huh?
Such bruises are caused by either a very heavy blow or by some internal issues. And here's something interesting. The skin of the deceased is covered with numerous blisters. Some of them are ruptured, others still contain fluid residue. More numerous blisters. We have some leads to investigate here. Let's write this down.
Clipboard, shift.
On the neck of the deceased, we can see clear furrows, indicating that strangulation may be the probable cause of death. Given the condition of the deceased, it's difficult to tell immediately whether the bruises were the result of a struggle or perhaps the result of iron deficiency. Currently, it's difficult to say whether the bruises were the result of a beating or whether it could be some kind of internal bleeding. In general, such blisters usually appear in the case of mechanical abrasions, but due to the place of occurrence, this should be excluded. The most likely cause of such skin changes is the high concentration of barbiturates in the body. Although it's easier to have abrasions on your feet, but the number and size of the blisters suggests that it's probably a matter of barbiturate poisoning.
Barbiturate, I don't know what that is. I think it has to do with medicines, maybe. Taking too much medicines of a certain kind. So possible death causes strangling.
A severed spinal cord, trauma to the larynx, or trachea will verify whether the hanging was the final nail in Miss Barker's coffin. Examination with a UV lamp will dispel some doubts. Potential attackers could
she
have
was
left traces.
attacked maybe before or after giving her sleeping pills, and then she was hanged. Or no, she was strangled because he said it was insecure, whoever did that. It doesn't look like even marks.
After examining the organs, we can easily verify whether there was internal bleeding or whether the deceased was suffering from something. I'll add barbiturates to the list of necessary tests, to be checked in the lab later.
Overdose.
Given the testimony of the victim's friend, I add alcohol poisoning to the list of potential causes of Miss Barker's death. A blood test will no doubt quickly verify that hypothesis. First, I'll check for external traces. For this, we use the good old UV lamp.
The good old UV lamp. To check.
I look carefully at the whole body. UV rays will reveal any traces. Torso. The area around the head is empty.
Do we turn this around or something? No.
Right hand clean. The left hand seems to be fine. No marks. Legs. There's nothing here. Well, nothing to surprise us here. Now gently, we take the deceased by the hand. And we check for rigor mortis.
Yeah, when taking someone by the hand turns out to be a little bit different than expected. Yeah. A little bit more disgusting. Hand in hand we stand.
Again, the hand falls freely. After yesterday, you should know what this means. Since we don't have a definitive lead, we will examine all the key organs one by one. So, I'm starting the internal inspection.
Alright, this is where you can leave and then come back afterwards. Yeah.
I dissect the skin of the deceased.
Unfortunately, I can't leave. I have to do it myself. And I have to watch too.
And I proceed to deflect the skin flaps. Compared with yesterday's body, the deceased has only trace amounts now for the ribs.
The loppers. Remove the ribs. Why did I buy this game?
Here? Or rather, what don't we have? There is certainly no sign of internal bleeding.
She was a
Sometimes regarding bruising,
smoker
it doesn't
too.
take much. My wife was constantly banging into furniture, walking into door frames. That's a wonder she never broke anything. Before I disembowel the deceased, I will take samples for toxicological tests to determine the alcohol content in the body. I just need my syringe. Just to be sure, I'm taking samples from 3 organs: the eyeball, the heart, and the bladder. Analysis will rule out, or confirm, alcohol poisoning as the cause of death. All done. I'll transfer these to the centrifuge. What was it? 15, 70, 10, 70. My old but trusted centrifuge. Ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during an autopsy.
Retrieve the notebook. Oh, I need the notebook. He always forgets it. Where's the... Oh, in the office. Uh-oh.
Maybe one day I won't need my notebook.
Oh, the laboratory is open now. Good old notebook. Why don't you take it?
Numbers have never been my strong point. It's probably why I regularly forgot birthdays and
And you bring it with you all the time.
I'm lucky Alice always forgave me.
The centrifuge. One, 2, 3. I think it's 15
Gently
and
does it with this old
70.
thing. Handle with kid gloves.
Yeah, 15 and 70. 15 and speed 70.
I'm starting the centrifuge. Let's see what results come out.
Hope the power doesn't go out again.
The laboratory is already open, so...
God damn it.
Fucking hell! Ridley! Mr. Ridley! Where is he? The fuses need resetting. Fuck it. I'll do it myself. I swear there was a flashlight in here.
The storeroom. Oh, the storeroom. The bathroom. The storeroom is, I think, this room here.
Whatever. I know where the switches are anyway. First the right, and then the left. And voila. What? What the? Oh, for fuck's
damn
sake.
it.
Can't I work in peace?
I didn't close the door. It happened on its own.
Jack Hanman speaking.
Easy, why so rude?
Steve? Sorry, man. This place is falling apart, and Ridley won't even lift a finger to help. You just can't work here.
Did the centrifuge strip the fuses again?
Yeah, eventually everything's gonna go up in smoke.
Look on the bright side. It's a free cremation with your autopsy.
Jesus, stop it. That shit pisses me off.
Okay, sorry, Jack. Anyway, I'm calling to ask how the autopsy's going. Soon there'll be journalists sniffing around for info, so we'd best be ready.
I'll whiz through this in a couple of hours. It doesn't look like a complicated case to me. More of a formality. The report will be available in the morning.
Sounds great. Thanks. Phew! How's your head?
Well, my head seems better than yours. On the way to work.
Holy fuck. Jack, turn on the radio.
What? What's happening?
Quiet.
A 3-car police convoy was involved in an accident near Pete's Bay Bridge while transporting prisoners to Orleans Parish Prison. At the moment, we do not know the exact number of victims or whether any of the convicts escaped. However, the scale of the accident indicates a large number of victims, possibly even fatal ones. Police are on their way to investigate the incident and secure the area. We know that the injured prisoners are on death row. The police were to transport them to their execution, which was to take place tomorrow morning. Many of them are very dangerous criminals. We will report on the matter on an ongoing basis, so stay tuned with us.
What? Stephen, was Red Pete one of the passengers? He was, wasn't he? What if he survived?
Jack, I have to go. They want me on site.
What if he
Where's
survived?
Red Pete?
I gotta go. Talk to you later, okay?
Fuck. Calm down, Jack. Pills. I need my pills. You heard him, Jack. A serious accident. Lots of victims. He's definitely dead. Yes. Nothing's going to happen. Christ. I've got to get back to work.
Red Pete is coming for us. And then we're gonna die.
What?
What is with this door all the time? We're gonna dissect him on the table.
Technical break. At least I know I can pursue a career as a janitor. My own but trusted centrifuge. Ideal. My own but trusted
just take him out.
centrifuge. Ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during an autopsy. Fucking hell!
Shut up.
Alright, let's see if we were able to get anything out of this piece of crap. And miraculously, yes. The samples did spin. I'll transfer them to the chromograph in the lab.
The chromograph. Oh, we're gonna have to use the microscope too at some point. There's so many things to do here.
Alright, let's load this up.
Is this the
I placed the
chromograph?
test tubes in the rack.
Oh, here.
Now, just take 5 milliliters from each. Precisely. And the next.
Why is this different with the second one? That's so irritating. Set the pipette to draw 10 millimeters. Oh, because we already set... okay. 5. Collect the second sample. Oh, because I did it wrong, it restarted.
More.
Okay. Set the pipette to draw 15 millimeters. Milliliters, not millimeters. There we go. Dip it in. And fill that little rascal up.
We put the prepared sample into the machine. Let's see what we have here. The results indicate that the deceased did consume alcohol shortly before her death. However, this is not an amount that could cause poisoning leading to death. Just slight inebriation.
Okay, so alcohol is
I can return to the body and continue the rest of the examination.
cancelled as a death.
The chromatograph results show that we can eliminate alcohol poisoning from our list
Death
of potential
cause.
causes of death. However, remember that alcohol can affect the functioning of the entire body. It disturbs the heart rhythm, accelerating its rate, and dilutes the blood, which may result in more severe bleeding in the event of an accident. Also remember that alcohol affects the metabolism of drugs in the liver, which I'll now look at in more detail.
Okay, the liver.
First, I'll pick up the syringe again. I'll take samples from the liver and the heart to test the concentration of barbiturates in the body. That's enough. I'll do the test later.
At least they don't have to
Best
censor
not
the
try
breasts
my
like
luck
this.
with the centrifuge right now. Now I remove the liver.
Are the lungs supposed to be this dark? Remove the liver. Okay, we're using the scan. No, I'm just taking it out with my hands. Great. Begin thorough liver analysis by examining the organ. How do I examine it? I can't go back.
No lesions.
Okay.
However, it is slightly enlarged. Perhaps it's a slight inflammation or drug-induced damage. It may also be the result of the deposition of substances from drugs. Let's check the weight of the organ.
The weight. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I was hoping it would
is
wiggle like that.
1,300 grams. The liver is enlarged.
Goes onto the cutting board.
I'll move on to a cross-sectional study. Perhaps the enlargement is the result of early cancerous changes. The blade glides through smoothly. I don't feel like I'm encountering any changes with an unusual structure.
I have the right button? Which button do I use to cut? Okay, he restarted it. Oh, we're going back and forth.
No steatosis or cirrhosis. The liver is actually quite clean inside.
Oh, returning to the autopsy. Okay, let's leave that there. Dinner
The
is
liver is
served.
basically healthy. We already know that the deceased didn't abuse alcohol. The question is, what about drugs or other substances?
Drug-induced liver
I move on to the heart.
enlargement. Oh, it's got a hole too, so I guess that's normal.
Oh. At a glance, we can see signs of a heart attack. The deceased is definitely too young to have a heart attack due to natural causes. The liver is enlarged, not from alcohol poisoning, and the heart looks like it has collapsed. So, I guess we need to go to the centrifuge and check for these barbiturates.
Mark the damage on the clipboard here. Lower, numerous extensive liver. Oh, the heart.
The last time I saw this kind of poisoning was a few years ago. I better check the data in my notebook. He was a middle-aged guy. He took his medication and forgot about it. So he took another pill. He forgot again and took another one. And another one. Until he took the last one. That's why it's better to have amnesic drugs in boxes labeled with the days of the week. This sort of thing rarely happens anymore. Doctors tend to prescribe benzodiazepines. They are safer, but still shouldn't be combined with alcohol.
Those are scary drugs, benzodiazepines. You can take them for a short time, but if you take them too long, like longer than 2 weeks or something, you will get an addiction that is harder to shake than heroin, and they will stop working over time because your body gets used to it. So in the end, you got just the
Alright.
addiction left. They're great drugs for a short time, you know, for a couple of days or something, but yeah. Performing a second under the presence of barbiturates. That's a different speed, I think. Presence of... Change page. Barbiturates. So that's 10 mins and 75%. Hello? 10 mins and 75%.
We close the centrifuge and pray that it doesn't trip anything again.
The centrifuge. You should get your you should get better fuses. How can this use that much power? That's just weird.
It looks like our luck is in.
Okay.
We can take the samples to the lab now.
Great.
I wonder how she was able to get hold of these drugs.
This is not like the mortician's assistant. This is more like actually working at a mortuary or whatever it's called. Let's put those in.
2 samples this time. 6 milliliters each.
Yeah. Set the pipette. So we'll put it on 6. And the boom. Now we set it to 12. And there we have it.
Well, let's see how much of it we find. Nothing surprising. Significant amounts of phenobarbital metabolites of hepatic origin.
I don't know what that means.
Looks like I'll have to check the contents of the deceased's stomach. The tests showed that the collected blood contained enough barbiturates to cause cardiopulmonary collapse. The question now is whether it was an accident or a deliberate act.
So that's
I'm proceeding to examine the stomach.
lungs and
Before
heart.
extraction, I ligate the entire organ to prevent its contents from spilling out.
How do I do that? I don't know what ligate means. There we go. The duck is back.
Okay, I'm now cutting out the organ, which will move to the board for dissection. Normally, the stomach and intestines are full of surprises.
He's living in sort of a trash area. Shouldn't he get like... I don't know what these people get paid, but this is like a tough job that I think most people...
Not this time. We see remnants of undigested food and a dense mass of pills. You don't take this many drugs by accident.
Okay. She clearly
Length
overdosed.
With normal. No obvious pathological changes. Undigested drugs found in the stomach of the deceased. The direct cause of death was probably an overdose. I'll check the rest of the organs, and then the nervous system. We'll see how significant the marks on the neck are. Lungs are normal, no lesions. The victim was probably a smoker, but was unlikely to be in any serious danger. The deceased's trachea is normal. Complete patency. No food or fluid.
The intestine?
The deceased's intestine is normal. No clear pathological changes. Abdominal cavity checked off. We can check the brain.
Oh God. We have to do this again.
I make a cut to open the lid of the victim's skull and remove the brain. Brain is normal. No obvious lesions. Alright, I need to dissect it on a board.
Oh, that's what I needed to cut the brain up again.
Using a knife, I carefully cut through the brain tissue. I peek inside a bit, and... I don't think there's anything worth noting. As expected, the deceased's brain is in excellent condition. No discoloration or changes due to hypoxia. There is still the matter of the marks on the neck. They look superficial, but who knows? Maybe the spinal cord has been severed. I need goggles and a saber saw. I think the goggles were in the desk drawer. Oh, they're out there. Alice. Saw. I need saw. Fuck. I don't see it here. Oh. I know. I probably left it in the basement after its last cleaning.
Oh, I really want to go out there. Is the window here open too? No, it's closed. What is this room here? Social room. I wish I could turn.
Mr. Ridley,
back time.
I need a key to the basement.
It's in the social room.
Why is the key lying at the... never mind. Thank you.
Hey, Hammond.
If only he could put that much enthusiasm into his... I get the feeling that searching through this rubbish is more pathogenic than working with corpses.
I got it.
Please, may this be the last trip.
I got the key. I don't know where the basement is.
Fuck. Why did the prison convoy have to get into an accident? Jack, take a deep breath. Deep, pleasantly cool breath. You're nearly finished with the autopsy. Then you can go home and rest.
You can go home and cry yourself to sleep again. Yeah. What an uplifting game. So where's the... How do we go to head to the basement? It doesn't tell us. Maybe through this room? We're heading to the basement. I think I need like a plan, like when we were playing Resident Evil or Silent Hill. You just pick it off the wall and then... At least you know what's where. I hope this isn't one of those American basements where you have to go outside to go to the basement. Is this open now? We've never explored the outside here. Maybe I'm too stupid to find the door. I don't know. I'm gonna check here now. Oh no, we can't go here. There's a fence. No offense, but there's a fence. It doesn't make any sense that we would go outside. It's like a storm shelter or something that... No, there's the... Oh no, we have to go outside. What is this house here? What is this? There's clearly a room inside. We're gonna go in there at some point.
I'll take the saw. Fuck! It's jammed! Doesn't anyone do maintenance around here? Damn hatch. Damn red Pete. Never again, if only.
What a convenient way to go to the basement. Here's the saw. Oh! What the fuck? Oh, that's what the hell is that?
It would be easier if I put things away properly.
He really left a skinned corpse?
Ugh, damn student lectures and their fucking props.
Oh, it's a prop. Okay. This looks like the chill area. Couch. You got some whiskey here. I don't know why anyone would have like green beans in a can down here. It doesn't seem like something that is very appealing to eat as a snack. Closing again. Finished. I'm just leaving it open like this. Okay. What was that? I wish I could turn back time and never play this game.
And like clockwork, he's already sleeping.
Let's just go quickly to the room before something happens.
Sorry for the short interruption. I hope you all took the opportunity to grab some coffee. And now that I have everything I need, I'll move on to revealing the spinal cord. Is removed. I can see that the spinal cord was not severed. This shows that apart from the marks around the neck, hanging didn't negatively affect the condition of the deceased. Ladies and gentlemen, almost over. Now, to sum up and tidy away the body. The direct cause of Samantha Barker's death was a heart attack resulting from an overdose of barbiturates. Traces found on the body suggest that the overdose was a deliberate act, following a failed attempt to hang herself. The autopsy found no evidence or genetic materials indicating that death could have been the result of an attack. Third-party involvement must be excluded. Autograph, and we can start sewing. In the 1950s and 1960s, the use of barbiturates for suicide was actually quite common. I think it was most talked about after the death of Marilyn Monroe.
1991, so it's 1991 in this game. I mean, they maybe said it before, I don't know. Now I paid attention. We're gonna sew her up again with like empty inside. No, wait, we have to first fold everything back.
At home, it was a help and comfort. On death row, a farewell to the convicts.
And we still got the Red Pete out and about.
Well, we're done for today. Thank you for your attention.
Let's go home and drain our sorrow in alcohol.
Tiring day. I can feel those hunger pains coming on. I guess I'll have to pick something up along the way.
Somebody's got to do
Gloves
this
in the
job.
Trash. Leave the apron for cleaning. Now I can go.
Might as well be someone else.
I didn't turn it off. A nightcap will do me good.
Did you come out again? No. Don't come out. Stay in there. Head to your car. Wait, did he say I forgot to turn the camera off? Now we're still just leaving. Okay.
Good night, Mr. Ridley. The police will pick up the body and accompanying documentation in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I guess there are actually two things in this world you can be certain
Oh, we're a
of.
medical
Death
examiner.
and
We're not
Ridley's
a
reluctant attitude.
mortuary. So we're getting only cases that could be like unnatural deaths, and then we try to find out what it
Alright.
was.
Maybe three things. My whiskey on the rocks when I get home. cold. I guess I should have brought my jacket to work. This block can be quite intimidating when it's so quiet. Almost there. Stephen didn't want to go out for a drink tonight, so I'll drink my whiskey in the company of my TV. Shit. I forgot the muffin. Well, Ridley will have a nice treat for the night. I'm sure he'll be his happy, thankful self tomorrow.
I just want to go to the apartment as fast as possible before something happens. Yeah, can we do that? Maybe we can do that. Oh. There's some cutie patooties over there.
What? What? What the fuck? But I locked it. I'm sure of it.
Gosh darn. Chapter 2.
Who the fuck did this? I don't have anything valuable. Money. They must have stolen the money.
What a mess. Yeah, that's not what you want to find when you come back home.
Fuck! Great. That's all I need. What if it was Red Pete?
The money's gone. It was in there.
Where? I need my pills.
Okay, pills.
I can't get my thoughts together.
Where's the toilet? Here? No, it's the exit. Here. Let's get the crazy pills. The anti-crazy pills.
Okay. I'm gonna have to report this to the police. Christ. Why did the neighbors not report anything? I'm calling Stephen. Stephen?
Now, Jack, I told you, I'm going for a drink with you for another night in a row.
That's not why I'm ringing. Although I could do with one. Someone broke into my apartment.
What? Did anyone see anything? Have you called the police yet?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, no one contacted me. As for the police, I'm calling right now, officer.
All right. Do you want me to head round? Look for any trace evidence?
I don't know. No, I guess not. Honestly, I don't have the strength to deal with it right now. I just want to lie down.
Are you sure? Because it's no trouble at all.
I think so. I'm sorry. I just wanted to calm down a bit. I don't know. That's probably some stupid joke. Only money was stolen.
Money? From Alice's box? Oh, fuck. Listen, I can come over. I have the key. I'll drop by, do what I need to do, and you go get some sleep.
No, don't trouble yourself. Lately, I've been just so tired and distracted. I don't know. Maybe I forgot to close the apartment door on my way to work. If anything else is missing, I'll let you know and call the police.
All right. Just make sure you close it tonight. If you see anything weird tomorrow, let me know. Whoever did this may be watching you.
I don't think anyone is dumb enough to come back.
You're probably right. Take care, Jack. If you need anything, call me.
I promise I will. Thanks, Stephen. Sorry to bother you again. I've just been all over the place lately.
It's not a problem. Good night, Jack.
Good night. What? I guess I should clean this shit up.
Poltergeist.
Where to start? There you go.
We'll use our telekinetic powers. Wait, now it doesn't move? There we go.
To be honest, I could leave it like this.
Let's move this one back up.
I still don't understand why Alice liked this painting
There we
so
go.
much.
Put that one back up.
Maybe I could barricade the door with this.
And leather goes back up.
I should pack this thing away. I have no interest in DIY.
Here you
at
go.
the moment.
Painting back
Well,
up.
I'm sure I won't get caught up in these papers. Alice's family should really have some of these.
And
What a mess. Now, if only I could blame this on the burglars.
we're leaving the rest. This is not cleaned up. I mean, look at the shelf here. Oh, we got this here.
Shit. The glass in this thing needs to be replaced. I'm glad this didn't break.
Jack, why?
That's enough for now. Ugh, I think I'm just tired.
Sometimes he's still talking, and then we heard the Jack high, and he's still talking the previous, still saying the previous sentence.
Oh yeah, I should take my pills.
Boy, oh boy, am I glad I don't need any pills every day. I got a friend, she needs like 1 million pills each day.
I
She
feel like it
needs
takes me forever to finish these
pills
things.
against the pills.
That's enough. Ugh. It will never look clean. I need to quickly change and finish getting ready. I'm gonna be late for work again. Got my keys, got my files. Check. Time to go.
Up and
Remember to close
away.
the door properly, Jack. I'll ask the neighbors tomorrow if they saw anything suspicious.
Yeah, I guess they can steal your money only one time, huh?
I wonder if Ridley fixed the coffee machine.
Let's go down quickly. Just focus on going down the stairs. Not looking anywhere. Let's go back to our depressing, I mean, great job. Cutting up people, cutting their brains in 2 pieces.
Maybe a bit optimistic.
Looking inside.
Better grab a coffee on the way.
I wonder who it's now on the dissection table.
I'm exhausted.
He starts his
I
day
wonder who
exhausted.
Stephen brought in today. Good morning, Mr. Ridley. Oh, he's not here yet? No, I'll do without him.
Oh, that's Peter, Red Pete. Dangerous convicted murderer. Okay, we know how he looks. He's bald and he's got a beard.
I hope he... Oh, come on. He was too lazy to even wheel the gurney to the autopsy room.
Gotta make sure we remember our kung fu if Pete shows up.
Almost there. Now for the tough part. The body needs to be moved. Where's Ridley when you need him? Alright. I just need some gloves and my apron. Then I
That's
can
the
get to
tough
work.
part. Psst. Jesus. That's the tough part. You just click it and then it's over there. So maybe it's the tough part for him. I mean, no, that's not the tough part. The tough part comes now. That's the tough part. Find gloves. Oh, there we go.
I'm going to need my tape recorder for this.
Yeah. I hope it's not going to be a bad surprise. Start the voice recorder. Here.
Autopsy dated November 22nd, 1991. 7:32 p.m. I begin by verifying the identity of the Jane Doe. It's most likely Harper Lloyd, age 35, found in a well-owned house by her neighbors Leonard and Dorothy Chelsea, reported missing for a week. Firefighters found the body after the Chelsea family began complaining that their tap water tasted strange, and at one point had begun to smell and turn a dark color.
They were drinking him. Bipolar disorder.
It is also known that the deceased was diagnosed with affective bipolar disorder. Harper was placed on drug therapy, which she dropped out of fairly regularly. During her treatment, she was under the care of her common-law partner, Richard Benson, professional truck driver. The last person who had contact with the deceased was her partner. Harper's last message read as follows: "I'm gonna take a shit in their stupid well. Then we'll see who has the last laugh." Nice one.
Well, it wasn't her.
Police records also show that Mrs. Lloyd was in constant conflict with her neighbors. The constant parties and subsequent brawls made living in the area nearly impossible, especially when Lloyd's partner wasn't around. I proceed to open the bag. The most important task in forensic identification of a drowned person is to distinguish whether the death occurred before or after entering the water.
All right, you ready to open the presents? Yeah. Let's open the presents.
Okay, that could have been worse. I carefully removed the victim's clothes so as not to damage. The deceased was one shoe was missing. I'm going to need the camera to document all possible suspicious marks. Definitely the first thing that stands out is the very advanced post-mortem gigantism.
She's huge. So what are we taking pictures of? She's bloated, that's the gigantism. An eye is missing. Oh, take a general photo? Okay.
The skin of the deceased appears very delicate, smooth, and relaxed from being in the water for a long time. The whole body is extremely pale. There are bruises and hemorrhages on the neck. These usually occur due to increased inhalation when fighting to breathe underwater.
I don't want to know these details.
There are some obvious scratches on the skin.
Congratulations, now you know too. All the stuff that we don't want to know, now we know it. What's with her eye? Isn't he like interested in taking a picture of her eye? It's obviously missing.
Post-mortem markings are seen on the underside of the body. That is, on the back, thighs, and calves of the deceased. It's likely that the deceased was lying on her back when she was fished out.
Disgusting. What else?
The skin on the hands can be easily separated from the body. The separation takes the form of a glove.
Ugh. Who wants to know that? One is missing. We need one more picture. It's gotta be her head. I mean. Okay, let's look at everything very slowly. We gotta find the spot here. Took a picture of the other hand. Picture of maybe her vagine? No. Her breasts. Her ear. Ah, man. Oh, here we go. The feet. Wrinkled up.
The so-called washerwoman's skin on the feet. The deceased had indeed been in the water for a long time.
And now for the good part. Oh no. First this.
So, after the preliminary exam, it's time to take a closer look at this.
The face. Here we got 3 exclamation marks. There's clearly something wrong with it. Here we go.
State, the deceased was clothed. Rigor mortis does not need to be checked. Based on the state of decay, you can be sure it has subsided.
Inspect the areas of concern with the magnifying glass.
Where to start? We see thick white foam in the mouth of the deceased, resulting from pulmonary edema. Foam is a characteristic in deaths due to drowning.
We learned another thing. Great.
There are obvious scratches on the skin, especially on the back and hands. These could be defensive wounds,
Yeah.
evidence of some sort of altercation prior to death. The
Defensive
spots have a
wounds.
purplish blue-red hue, which is a typical sign of the death of the organism.
Imagine this is your skin.
Yep, pretty typical. Livor mortis are formed as a result of putrefaction of blood in the veins.
Livor mortis.
No obvious signs of struggle. The skin on the hands would have easily peeled away from the flesh. Some of the fingers have already lost their nails.
Oh my god.
Due to the fact that the deceased was wearing shoes all the time, her feet are in better condition than her hands. Nevertheless, we can still notice a clear, wavy skin and the so-called washerwoman's skin texture. Okay, that's probably enough to indicate a direction for further examination.
On the clipboard.
I'd better note that down in the records. Marks found on the neck and foaming at the mouth are typical signs of drowning people. Those abrasions appear relatively fresh. No healing or scarring is visible. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about this livor mortis. Hands heavily wrinkled from submersion in water, typical washerwoman's skin. Diffuse spots are caused by blood rotting in the veins. Considering the deceased's penchant for drinking alcohol, it could have been a mere accident.
They're all alcoholics, all of our victims. Wait, I'm glad I haven't drunken anything in like 2 weeks, and I used to drink, like, you know, not like an alcoholic, but regularly, but it feels pretty good. So when they're gonna find my corpse, they're gonna like exclude alcoholism. I will be very glad about that when I'm dead. Highlight and consider each wound. I already did this, right?
In this case, maybe they're just forced liver, a simple trip,
Like
loss
this.
of balance, and as a
All right,
result,
we got drowning,
you end up in a deep hole with no way
third-party
out.
involvement,
That's all for
and
now.
fall as possible death causes.
Before I begin the dissection, I'll make sure the suggested identity is correct. The suitcase with the fingerprint equipment should be around here somewhere.
If her skin comes off, oh my
Here
god!
it is.
I can
With
still.
decomposing bodies, the tissue of the pads and the fingers tends to shrink. To remove these shrinkages, a mixture of glycerin or air is used. If the body of the deceased is well preserved, fingerprinting is similar to that of a living person. The fingerprint sheet should always be checked. Slipping fingers, too much or too little ink, or inaccurate hand position can make fingerprints illegible.
Oh
I'm
god!
going to conduct a dactyloscopic examination. If in fact the deceased is in the police database, I will find her.
I'm pretty hungry, but I don't think I can eat anything right now.
Glycerin is injected successively between the nail and the skin of each finger. The substance then enters the fingertip, removing shrinkage and wrinkles.
Oh, the fingerprints become visible.
Now I take a brush. Only when the skin is taut and elastic can you use ink. I think it's enough. I'm getting fingerprints. In the case of drowning victims, you have to be extremely careful. The skin may fall off the hand like a glove when you take the print. I'll use the fax machine to add the print into the system.
Where's that? Here.
Green button, and...
Boom! 4 missed calls.
Once the data uploads, I'll run the prints against the police database on the computer.
The computer. Okay. Compare the fingerprints at the computer. Here.
Great. The data is there. Click upload. Now, go through the database and find a matching print. Expect possible hours of fun.
This looks identical. What do I do here? Do I have to start with the first one?
One more. Analyze button. And we have a result. Everyone has a story to tell, even if it's just a police record. So, as predicted, the deceased turned out to be Harper Lloyd. That went smoothly. I'll print this out and attach it to the medical records. I wasn't sure it would amount to, but the World Wide Web has been a blessing for speeding up my work. Great. Now I can go back to my inspection.
Great. Okay. Return to
I'm adding the name of the deceased. I'll start the internal examination by taking fluid from the victim's brain. A needle inserted through the nose will do the trick. If the victim was alive when she fell into the well, she must have swallowed water fighting for her life. And then diatoms, characteristics of pooled water like a well. In the meantime, I'll check the sample under the microscope. I'm sure that these algae traces will be found in the samples taken from the well where police found the body.
Algae. You got
now I
algae.
need to adjust the knobs properly and place the diatom in the center of the slide. Diatoms are single-celled microscopic algae. I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this distance. Great. The aperture. Oh, nah. Oh, oh. I'm finally starting to see something here. It's not... And perfect. It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid, but rather a bad focus.
Bad focus.
And perfect. The aperture still needs adjustment. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this... Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae.
Did I do everything correctly?
It's not a dirty... And perfect.
Perfect.
The aperture still needs adjustment. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. Nah, too much light. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here.
Oh, I move around. Oh, okay, I get it. To verify the presence of the diatoms. Are these the diatoms?
It's not a dirty... And perfect. It's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid, but rather a bad focus. And perfect.
Did I do it? There's stuff floating. There's stuff floating around, and there's stuff in the bag that gets... Oh, what is that? Oh.
As expected, we find the aforementioned algae in the solution. Their upper part, Epitheca, which overlaps the lower, Hypotheca, is clearly visible.
Great.
The presence of diatoms in the brain samples taken indicate that the deceased was certainly alive when she fell into the water and was possibly conscious. Since there were diatoms in the brain, it means that many more of them must have entered the body. Studies of the rest of the organs will most likely confirm this hypothesis. I can finally get to the practical
Somebody
part.
could have just thrown her in alive. I don't know. Yeah, time to open the body.
I must be extra careful because the skin of the deceased is very stretched. I wouldn't want an explosion here.
An explosion. No, we don't want an explosion.
You can immediately see a very large swelling of the organs. In addition, all internal organs are very congested. I proceed to remove the rib cage.
The loppers again. Here we go.
It's easy to see that the ribs have been imprinted in the lungs. So, I'm going to start by if diatoms were only present in the lungs, this would mean that the victim was placed in the well after death, and the perpetrator wanted to get rid of the corpse in this way. Now, I remove the lungs and proceed to their examination. Taking the lungs in my hand, I feel that the tissues have lost their elasticity, which is the result of water emphysema. In addition, there is significant swelling of the organs, and as a result, we have a nice imprint of the ribs. The emphysema itself, it's clear how far it's progressed, which is characteristic of drowning. Corpses found in water are worth examining with a tomograph. However, I can't count on such luxuries, so I must reach for a more archaic technology. A bucket and water.
Oh god, I saw someone is in...
Oh, Jesus.
Someone is there. Is it waiting for me? Hello! Yeah. Nice to meet you. Oh, you prepared a bucket for me.
Ooh. I hope no one dipped a mop in it. It's best to go to the lab for this.
Thank you for the bucket. Don't follow me.
Historically, the lung flow test is used to detect infanticide. The water should be at room temperature. That's enough. To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water. This checks if there is air in the lungs. And speaking of lungs, everything is ready to bring them here. Of course, such a study isn't without flaws. Air may have entered a newborn's airways during resuscitation attempts. Gas is released. In this case, however, it's about something else. Namely, the amount of fluid in the lungs. To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water and wait to see if they fall or if they will float on the surface.
And no detail is spared us. They're sinkers.
Just as I assumed.
Sinkers or
the lungs
floaters?
collapsed easily.
Sinkers. Take the lungs back, okay. Taking them
Fluid
back.
could have entered the lungs during panic attempts to catch breath underwater, but it could also be the result of bacterial infections or cancer, so further investigation is needed.
Dinner is ready. Who ordered the lungs? Hello? Did you order the lungs? I have some delicious fresh lungs for you. No? Okay, well. I guess not everyone appreciates the fine culinary arts that I prepare. Maybe this time we won't have to cut into her brain. That will be a good thing. Put the lungs back here.
I move on to dissecting the lungs of the deceased.
Removing the brain 2 times is quite enough. Okay.
You can hear the distinct, very unpleasant crackling of the tissues being cut through. The parenchyma is remarkably pale, although small hemorrhagic foci and petechia are present on the surface.
Petechia?
All right. Now, I will check the collected fluid under a microscope. If we find 20 diatoms on the slide, it can be considered drowning, and our result
Does he have the fluid
is
already?
not false positive due to possible contaminations.
I guess I already had that.
Let's see. Although I expect we'll find them easily. Oh, I'm finally starting to see something here. I won't even notice an army of diatoms from this distance. Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae.
Can you stop talking and then talking with the next one? There we go.
And perfect.
Okay, now we're searching for something like last time. Here we go. That's the diatoms.
As expected. In solution, the diatoms are clearly visible. There are smaller and larger clusters of them. There will definitely be more than 20 of them.
Yeah.
I'll make a note of all this. So far, this case looks pretty standard. It's clear from the beginning that it's drowning. Well, the procedure requires me to check everything anyway.
What am I doing?
So, I move on to checking the other
Continuing,
organs.
of course.
I ligate the heart, and then remove it for inspection. Strongly developed putrefactic hemolysis of the organ can be seen at first glance. Apart from that, no signs of a heart attack or other heart disease.
If you want to stop eating meat, this is the perfect game. Makes me vomit if I think about eating a piece of meat. I'll eat only a salad for dinner. For lunch, not dinner. Mark the damage to the heart here. Heart without signs of disease. Strongly developed putrefactive hemolysis resulted from drowning.
I move on to the next organ. This time, it's the liver.
The Liver King.
It's immediately apparent that the deceased didn't care for herself. Like most organs, her liver is enlarged and severely congested. The beginnings of cirrhosis are visible in some areas.
You get that from drinking too much alcohol.
I transfer the organ to a board and proceed to dissect.
So each patient takes so much longer than in the Mortuary Assistant game, and the game is also very different. In the other game, you get like tons of jump scares and everything, and here it's more
The cross-section clearly shows dilated veins.
Focused on the
and
work.
Many small hemorrhagic foci.
But it's also different because in the Mortuary Assistant, you actually just... You prepare the people for... You like embalm them and everything, and here you just take them apart and find out what killed them. So it's actually quite different.
I must admit that this is quite a feat, considering the rather young age of the deceased. Harper enjoyed drinking so much that she might not have lasted a few more years.
Liver indurated with the markedly dilated veins.
I move on to the stomach. I take a sample of the fluid for testing.
Oh, okay, so we need... Oh, no, wrong button. We need a syringe. Don't mind if I do.
It looks very turbid. I'll see what happens after spinning, but that's in a moment. Now, I carefully ligate the organ, then cut it off.
Okay. Here we go.
It's enlarged, probably full of putrid gases.
Dark. That is a
I
strange
transfer
duck.
to the board and carefully open it, checking the contents.
And I vomited all over it.
One thing you'd never get used to is how much this desk smells. Okay, the stomach is full of fluid and unidentified organic matter, which is probably leftover food. So let's check the diatoms. Again, but in a centrifuge for a change. The problem with examining drowned people is being able to show whether the death was due to drowning or whether something else contributed to the death. Cramp, heart attack, drugs, homicide, or some accident. Such an analysis requires viewing from different angles and a careful interpretation of the collected
Goddamn
data,
window.
including those from the field. That's why it's so important to collect as many samples as possible. Unfortunately.
I forgot about the psycho. The convicted killer. Is this guy still alive? He's not moving. Peter, the red Pete Hackett. Okay, we need the notebook. And there we have it. Unfortunately. Everything is unfortunate in this game. This character's life, this character's job, what we have to do in an unfortunate amount of detail.
Okay, this is one last little sample. Now, set
phasers to kill. No. Oof. Perform test for diatoms. Let's see. Yum, yum, yum. Barbiturates. So, diatoms, 35 minutes and 25%. 35 minutes and 25%. 35. I guess that's... And then 25. Oh, the clock actually ticks away. Oh, if you look at it from here, then the dials are straight above the lines. If you look from here, it looks like it's a little bit crooked.
Done. I'll run it directly into the chromatograph and run it against the data from the police. I'm certain the analysis will show similarities between the fluid and water in Chelsea's
The
well.
chromatograph. That's in the lab, isn't it? I hate this hallway, by the way. I really hate it here. Here's the chromatograph. To put that in here. Syringe.
Let me think. 3 milliliters should be fine.
Yeah. 3 milliliters. Dip it in.
Okay, now it's the chromatograph's turn.
There we go. The result is... I have no idea.
Yes.
Oh.
The water sample matches the one provided by the police.
Yeah.
Well, the results are quite clear. I was hoping it would be a more interesting case. I wasn't sure it would amount to anything, but the World Wide Web has been a blessing for speeding up my work.
We're going back here. Oh, you already checked it versus the police records.
More diatoms. Analysis indicates the same origin. Blah, blah, blah.
And the blood.
There's little left to do. I'm going to check the airway patency of the deceased. Interesting. Looks like there's something stuck in the trachea. I'm moving to the board for further inspection.
Move it to the board to vomit over it.
I dissect the trachea and open the organ. Inside,
A ring.
I find a wedding ring. This is interesting. Let me look at it.
Pick it up.
Based on the size, I can say that it's a woman's wedding ring. Quite standard from the outside. There's an engraving inside. What the fuck? But this is my ring. Alice's ring. But how did it, but they should be at home. I have it. At home. It's, I have to check this out. Where are my meds?
Oh!
What the fuck? Huh?
God damn it. Take the pills quickly. I got goosebumps all over my head and everything. And everything everywhere. Everything everywhere all at once. Okay, I took the crazy pills. I took them.
I've already taken my pills. I'm not looking to overdose.
It still says take my pills. Oh, I hope the game is not stuck or something. Maybe I have to check for something. Can't even see anything. Puke into the toilet here. That's enough for one day. Take your pills in the bathroom.
Jesus Christ! Hope these all make it go away.
Did he forget he took him?
I have to check the apartment. It can't be. Jesus Christ!
You're just leaving her like this? You're leaving her like this, open. I think we should close her first. No, we're not close. We're going home. It's not a good thing.
Mr. Ridley. Mr. Ridley!
What's all the ruckus?
I need to go home. Immediately.
What? Now?
I have to. Have you seen anyone here this morning? Anybody suspicious?
Oh, there was no one. Dorothy was, but only for a moment, then she left. What's wrong with you, Hammond?
Okay. Thanks.
What about the corpse?
I'll come back, I promise. Jesus Christ!
Maybe Red Pete did it, and we somehow... I mean, they seem to have a connection, right? Or maybe he wants to make us insane or something.
I have to check this out. This can't be real. Where is it? Where is it? Where? It's not here. It's not. I need to go. This is sick. Fuck. Come on, Steven. Pick up the fucking phone.
Hey. What's up, man?
They took the ring.
What? What ring? What are you talking about?
They took the wedding ring. Alice's wedding ring.
One sec. You mean burglary? You said nothing was missing.
Yes, I know that. I don't know. I was jittering. Maybe I didn't notice. I don't know, but the worst of it.
Calm down, Jack. Breathe. What happened?
I found it in the trachea of the deceased I was working on. Do you understand? I pulled it out of a dead woman's trachea!
What?
I don't know what's going on. You think Red Pete wants revenge? He's playing with me. Huh? I knew it. I knew it from the beginning this is going to happen. I didn't make it up!
Jack, listen to me. Try to calm down. Don't leave the apartment. I'll be with you right away, okay? I'm on my way.
What sane person would do something like that? How? And when? When the fuck? Fucking Ridley lets in whoever he likes as usual. What are you saying? Steven? Don't leave me, man. Come on. Fuck. Oh, God, what now? Okay, just calm down. Just calm down. I need a drink. Jesus. What's going on? Just one sip more. Yep. Jesus. Just one sip more. Okay.